Good evening and welcome to the Trading the Tech Show. My name is Derek and this is iLi Academy. Today is Monday, March 29th, 2021. And it is a Monday. Well, it's Monday, so we're going into our Tuesday now. And so we're kind of setting up, direction for the week and kind of where we're going to go from here. And sorry if I feel a little lethargic tonight. Had a very long night last night. Not a trading issue at all. It was very, everything was cool as far as trading wise. Um, but just dealing with individuals and people is kind of tough sometimes. Um, being a giving person is very difficult because you find people that just don't appreciate anything that you do for them and don't even realize that you are going out of your way to do something for them. They're just ungrateful. So tough. So my energy's drained. So being a trader, you want to be careful that the energy around you is good. So if you're in a toxic environment, you're going to, that's going to affect your trading. So you want to kind of set up your environment to be conducive to you being able to trade and being focused and being happy, at least good energy. You don't necessarily have to be happy, but you got to have some good energy around you, that good flowing energy that kind of moves with you. You make better decisions that way. So, that's important. That's the one thing that I'm concerned about here. It's like, you can't change people, but you can change your environment. You can change the energy that's around you. And when you change the energy that's around you, then it's good because you can improve that. That's something you have control over for the most part anyway. So let's get into yesterday's day. The Dow Jones was up again, second day in a row, following up a 400 plus point day up. We had a 98 point positive day. We ended up at 33,171.37. So that was good. Now the rest of the indexes were down. The S&P 500 was down 3.45 points to 3971. The Nasdaq was down 79 points to 13,059. The Russell 2000 was down 62.8 points to 2158. So the Dow was just the rare shining star, maybe because we sold off so much. Individuals were interested in buying and saying, okay, we feel things are, you know, cheap here, and we feel like there's going to be some more growth in the market. So let's try and see if we can get, some money out of this. And so people are investing in the stock market and in the Dow, in the stocks in the Dow, and it's proving fruitful. Let's jump right into our charts here. I want to kind of get through our charts tonight and let you guys see what kind of is setting up and where we are. Here is our Aussie CAD chart here. You can see that we're trading below our 720 and all of our moving averages are below the 720 as well. We've pulled back well past all of our moving averages here. We're above them. So since we want to short, we can short on this 50. This is the area that we want to place our order. So the value of that's 96.14. 0.9614. So that would be our area to short. Now we can also short down here on the 100 and the 200 as well as a little bit more conservative trade. Now I'm going to show you something here. Yesterday at the end of trading, we kind of hit our 50. Now we were trading well above the 50. We could have traded on this 50 to short. And then we moved down here. We traded down to our 100 and our 200 moving averages. Now this is a place where I would definitely lock in some pips. We hit that next average, I would definitely lock in those pips there. I wouldn't let that sit for too long without locking it. Lock it, break even plus a few pips. Even if you got 2 pips out of it or whatever, who cares? You got a couple of pips. It's going to give you another opportunity. So we did get down here to the 100, 200. That would have been a profitable trade for us. We either could have just sold and got out, or we could have waited till it came back and hit our profit stop loss. And then it backed up again past our 50, which is giving us an opportunity again tonight. So within hours, we have another opportunity. That don't be shy to do that. Take your pips off the table when the time, when they come. Take them off the table because you'll always get another trade. I don't want you thinking that there's not going to be another opportunity, so you kind of get that fear of missing out mentality. You're not going to miss out. There's always going to be another trade. So we'll take the few that we can get and we'll move on. Right? Aussie yen, we're trading here above our 720. The moving averages 100 and 200 are still below the 720. So we'd be shorting on this 200. The 100 is way too close to the 720. I place my order here to short on the 200. Now you can say, well, the price is going up. Why would you short there? Well, this moving average is our long-term moving average. This represents the long-term direction. So regardless of if it's flowing against the direction at this point in time, at some point it should flow in the direction of the longer-term trend. Now, if the 200 gets over here and jumps over my 720, then that changes. So this order down here, as long as the rate continues to move up, can be deleted once we kind of get in that area where the 200 is going to cross the 720. We can just delete the order. Now, once the 200 jumps over the 720, then maybe we have trend to the upside over the long term, and so we're going to go ahead and run with that. As far as Aussie New Zealand goes, we're trading well above our 720. We see our 720 way down here. There's a lot of space between my 720 and my 200. That's something I'm going to pretty much try to notice right off. How much space is there between my moving averages and my 720? Because that's going to tell me what the real prospect is for the directional change over time. So right now, it doesn't look like there's a real prospect for a move down, past my 720, where we're going to have a downward trend. So I'm going to be a buyer here. My moving averages are all above my 720. So I'm still a buyer here. So I'm looking at my 100 and my 200 kind of sitting here in the same spot around this 1.0907 area. And I can buy there. I place my buy order on that level. All right. As far as the Aussie US goes, we're trading here below our 720. And our moving averages are all below the 720 here. We have the rate above the moving averages here. And so our opportunity here is to sell on our 50, which is sitting here at 76.34, or maybe on our 100 here. The 200 is kind of sitting there where the 50 is, so that's kind of the same area. You can sell on this 100 as well. We've got some distance to the last support zone. So we've got some opportunity for pips here. We're well below our 720, so that distance tells me that it's not going to change direction right away. So let's take a look here. Now, the CAD yen on our 30-minute chart here, we're trading above our 720. All the moving averages are in order to the upside. That means we have a full mature trend going on to the upside here. And so we're buyers here. We're going to be buyers once we pull back past our 100 and our 50 or our 100 here in yellow. Now, if you look at yesterday's trading, we got that pullback all the way well below our 200 here. But we could have dropped an order on this 200 and we'd have a nice profitable trade at this moment, right? Or the 100 or the 50. Any one of those moving averages would have given us a profitable trade to the upside. As far as the Swiss yen goes, we just popped over our 720 here. We've got our moving averages 8 and 21 trying to step over the 720 as well. But our long-term moving averages 50, 100, and 200 are still below the 720. So we're going to short. Maybe wouldn't pick this 50, but maybe on the 100 or the 200, I would short here. Because if the rate commits to a move back down, then we're making it commit. And making it give us a sense for that real push in that direction before we get involved with the trade. We don't want a weak push in our direction and get involved on that. We want a pretty much a strong push where it's making no doubt about which direction it's trying to go. It's not always going to turn out the way that we want it to in the end, but a lot of times it will. As far as the Euro Aussie goes, we're trading well below our 720. So rates down here below the 720. All the moving averages except the 200 are below the 720. So now this 200 is a little close to my 720 here. If you're going to place an order there, it's at 154.56. The 720 is at 154.50. So it's only about 6 pips difference between the two. I might want 10 pips or more, maybe 15 pips above. So I'm probably not going to place an order to buy here, but I'm at least going to make a mental note saying, okay, if this jumps below my 720, then I've got a push to the downside. I've got trend to the downside, and I'll be waiting on a pullback past my 50 or my 100. But if this stays above my 720, then it's probable that we're going to, get a push back to the upside. So we'll have to see what happens there. Now, as this moves up and gives more distance, then we can add a trade if the rate starts to kind of pop upwards. EuroCAD is trading well below our 720 here. We've got all the moving averages in order to the downside, and we have full mature trend to the downside. So we're waiting on pullbacks past our 50 or past our 100 in order for us to short. Euro Swiss, we popped back above our 720 here. You look at it yesterday, we spent some time well below the 720, but our 200 moving average and our others as well stayed above our 720. So our expectation is that the rate would return back to that 200 or at least back above the 720 and continue on to the upside. You can see in yesterday's trading, we had this fall down even below the 720, but we could have dropped an order on this 200 and we would have had a profitable trade there. Either the 200, 100, or the 50, any one of those would have been profitable trades, easily broken even. We had another move down here past the 720, and now we're broaching the 50, and then we're going to be looking probably to head to our 200 and 100 here, where our buy order could be placed. Euro pound is trading below our 720. Our moving averages are below the 720 as well. We pulled back past the 50. This is probably the only place where we can place an order right now. If we pull back more past the 100, then we can place that order on the 100 as well, or improve the 50 moving average order to the 100. But right now, the only opportunity is really on this 100, on the 50, I'm sorry, in blue. Euro yen, we're trading above our 720 here. We've got the 8 and 21 jumped over to 720, but the long-term moving averages are below my 720 still. So my option here is to place an order to sell maybe on this 100 or on this 200. I'm going to place my sell stop there, because we should head back down below as long as the long-term moving averages are below the 720. As far as the Euro New Zealand goes, we're trading above our 720 here. Our moving averages are all above the 720, and so our order opportunities are on our 50 here at the 168.22 mark, and our 100 and 200, which are sitting kind of in the same location here as well. So we can place a trade on any one of those moving averages in this area, and then we should be looking at a move up as long as our direction holds. There's a lot of distance between my 200 and my 720, so it's not like right away it's going to hit my 720, or going to change direction. So my penchant is to the upside, so I'm going to buy at the earliest convenient point to buy, which is going to be my 50. Euro US is trading below our 720 here. We're at lows. We're at definite lows for the Euro US, and what we see here is a little bit of bottoming out. I see like just kind of trading off to the right here, just kind of in a range, just a small range going on there. But nevertheless, we're still trending to the downside here. We'll see what happens as we go forward, but we're going to be looking for pullbacks past this 50 or past the 100 before we start to place orders on our moving averages to short. Pound Aussie, we're trading above our 720 here. We see that the 200 is up here well above our 720. So the 200 is our first option to buy. We can buy stop on our 50 or our 100 also. So any one of these moving averages can be used to place your buy stop order. Let's scroll over here. Okay, for the pound CAD, you see that we are trading below our 720. All the moving averages are below the 720. If you look at yesterday's trading, we traded well up above our 720 here, but our moving averages, all the long-term ones, stayed below the 720, and the rate returned back to those levels. So, here's the 50, here's the 100, here's the 200. So we probably could have placed an order maybe at least on this 100. Maybe the 50 was too close at this point, but, we could have placed an order maybe on the 100 short, and we would have had a profitable trade down below our 200. Our 200, if we placed it on the 200, we would have been short. We'd have to be a little more patient because we'd still be waiting on this trade. We probably wouldn't have broken it even so easily right here. Maybe, but not, but there's no guarantee that we would have broken even. So we'd be hanging out on it. Direction hasn't changed. We're still below the 720. So our preferred directions to the downside. So we just have to be patient on that trade. As far as pound Swiss goes, we're trading above our 720. We've got all of our moving averages above the 720. Right now, it's passing our 50, so we don't have that opportunity to buy there. When we drop back down below our 50 or below our 100, then we can place an order to buy. But right now, we have to already be in that order at this moment. Pound yen, we traded here above our 720. We're trading above the 720. The moving averages are in order to the upside here. We've got a mature trend, but very young at this point in time. And we're waiting on our pullback past our 50 or past our 100 to place orders to buy. As far as the pound US goes, we're trading below our 720 here. We see that yesterday we did trade up to the 720, but all of our long-term moving averages stayed below. So we could have been improving at least our 50 order, our 50 moving average order, or we could have been improving our 100 and our 200 order, and we could have been profitable on any one of those trades. Obviously the 50 would have given us a profitable trade pretty much right away. It bounced back up there again. We could have shorted on this 100 and wrote it down again. So there was great opportunity there. We have to wait now until we get a pullback again past maybe our 50, past that 150, and then we can short again. As far as the New Zealand CAD goes, we're trading well below our 720 here. We've got a nice trajectory kind of going to the upside. Nice set of higher lows here. I mean, you almost don't even need to put the line on it to be able to see it. But we've got a nice move to the upside here. But we're not fooled by that so much. We know that it's moving against the tide, basically, because our 720 is well above here and all our moving averages are well below that 720. So, we know that, it's kind of, rolling against the direction, the overall direction. So we can place our order to short on either this 250 where they're both sitting at, or on this 100, which is sitting at the 88 mark, 88.04. So we can sell there, but if this moves up and it continues to move up, then we can improve the orders for the moving averages. There's a lot of distance between my 200 and my 720, so that tells me that it's probably not going to switch direction on us right away. It's probably going to take a while before it would do that, and it'll probably exhaust before it does that and may return to the overall trend. So we'll just have to watch that and see what occurs with that at this point. But we've got an opportunity to place orders on those moving averages. We're trading our New Zealand Swiss below our 720. We're also trading our moving averages below the 720 as well. So our opportunity now, because the rate is above our 50 and above our 200 and 100, is to place an order on these moving averages to short. And New Zealand yen, we're trading here almost to our 720. And so we see all our moving averages are trading below the 720, and we can place an order to sell on the 50 or on the 200 or 100. Now, if the moving averages go all the way up and jump over the 720, we got change in direction. But right now, we're not going to be fooled by this just simply because it's moving to the upside. We still have to work within the strategy and what the strategy says. But if the moving averages do jump up above the 720, then great. We can, we'll definitely, delete the orders that are down here. But up until that time they jump over, then our preferred direction is still to the downside. New Zealand US, we're trading below our 720 here, and the rate now is jumped up above our 200, so we can drop an order either on this 200 or we can use our 50 or our 100 as our points to short. There's a lot of distance between this 720 and the 200, so that tells us direction is not going to change anytime soon. So if we return to any type of momentum, normally that momentum is going to be to the downside. So yeah, so US dollar CAD, we're trading above our 720 here. All of our moving averages are above the 720. It's getting a little bit messy in here. It kind of tends to do that once it figures out its direction, and then at the end of that, it kind of gets a little messy, and that's what's kind of happening right now. But we've got our moving averages all above the 720. We've pulled back a little bit past the 50, and we're sitting kind of, right near this 100 right now. Let's see if we get a pullback a little bit deeper, kind of like what we had earlier in the day, and then we can buy on those levels, the 100 or the 200. US dollar CAD, we're trading here above our 720 as well. And we have to wait for pullbacks past our 50 or past our 100. We want to get down here kind of like we were earlier in the day yesterday, late in the day yesterday, and then early in today's trading. We kind of were trading down here at this level, halfway between the 100 and the 200 moving averages, and then we could buy on this 100. So we may return there again. It's kind of ranging a little bit here. So we may return down, turn down a little bit and give us an opportunity to buy at that level. US dollar yen, we're trading above our 720. All the moving averages are in order to the upside. So we've got a pure mature trend going on here right now. And so we're buyers. We're buyers if we pull back past our 50 or past our 100. So those are the opportunities that exist for us today. In the market, we've got a lot of things that kind of are existent for us. Trades that we can place now and things that may be setting up through the week. It's only going into Tuesday. So today's still Monday, right? Yeah, so still Monday for another half an hour or so, at least for me. And so we're going to be going into Tuesday and seeing what what this direction looks like. So hopefully things will stay in the direction they're going in, right? So thank you so much for your time and your patience and hanging out with me here. If you know anybody who would gain value from listening to the show and from looking at these trades opportunities, let me know. We've got funding going on for our proprietary trading, our first proprietary trading account. And we've got our trader who's doing some demo trading right now as well. So that's very, very exciting for us. So it's a new phase for me. It looks like we just may have a second one too. So we'll see what happens there. So that's my goal to kind of get the second one going here within maybe about 30 days or maybe 30 to 60 days. We're going to get that going, hopefully 30 days. I think we can do it. And that'll be another opportunity for us and another, revenue generator for us that helps us. So, this is very cool. This is like a dream come true for me. And I'm, putting people in position to, to make money, where they wouldn't have had the opportunity maybe before. If they did have the opportunity, they didn't have the opportunity to get funded to do it. So it's not a huge amount of funding, but it's there. It's enough to kind of get us where we need to be living in Brazil. We don't need to make a whole lot of money to make a difference in someone's life here. So it's cool because we can have a lower investment and at the same time risk less money and risk having less capital out there in the market, but then the exchange makes it blow up and makes their life so much better here in Brazil. So it's a great situation. It's really, really a cool situation to be in. I want to see kind of where it goes. And I'm definitely committed to, my traders being successful. That's what we're here for. So I appreciate your time and your patience. Once again, this is Derek, and it's been the iLi Academy Trading the Tech Show. We'll see you in the morning. Have a great one. Bye-bye.